Hi everyone, hi my Musketeers, it's Miss Goldman and I'm here with Echo and Baby Echo. Say hi guys.
Hi everybody! How you doing? Hope you're doing alright. Woohoo! Woohoo!
Oh Baby Echo, we still have to teach Baby Echo some more letters and letter sounds, but so he can talk to us. But until then, we're going to learn how to write some new letters.
Oh, really? It's going like what?
Like the letter P and the letter J. So remember, we said P makes pan, and J makes jug. So I'm going to sit you guys here so you can listen to and watch the lesson, okay?
Okay, it's going. That's a good idea. Oh, going real easy.
No, that's okay. Baby Echo's watching with you. So remember, we have our skyline, we have our plane line, our grass line, and finally our worm line. Now I'll bring that closer so you can see those and remember what they look like because it's been a while. So I'm going to do this two ways. Just like in class, we're going to do it in the sky, and we're going to do them on the board. Now, if they're in the sky backwards, I'm sorry, because I have to remember which way to do them. So we're going to start at the beginning of how we've learned some of these letters. So the first letter we learned was apple. So we're going to do an uppercase letter and then the lowercase letter. So for the uppercase, we're going to start at the sky, slowly go down to the grass, and then slide back up that line, and slide back down to the grass in the opposite direction. Then on the plane, we're going to cross there, and that's our uppercase A. To make the lowercase a, we're going to start at the plane. We're going to go around and give it a tail. And since I'm not sure if that went forward or backwards, I'm going to show it again. The opposite direction, I'm going to make and down. So we made like an O. We went around all the way to the grass, back up to the top of that plane where we stopped, and then we give it a little tail down from from the plane to the grass. So let's now write the letter A. We are going to start at the sky, go down to the grass, go back up that line to the sky, and again we are going to go down to the grass, just like that, and then we are going to cross it on the plane. And then since it looks like my marker is about to die, I'm going to pause this and get a new marker. So I got a new marker. So you can see here is our capital A. Now you can see it nice and dark. Now I'm going to do our lowercase a. So remember we said we're going to start at the plane, curve it to the grass, and back up to the plane, and give it a little tail from the plane to the grass, just like that. Perfect. Now we're going to practice writing the letter B. Bat. So remember the uppercase B, we're going to start at the sky, go down to the grass, go back up that line, back to the sky. Then we are going to curve to the plane, and then curve to the grass. The lowercase b is very similar. We're going to start at the sky, go down to the grass, go back up that line, only to the plane though, and then curve back from the grass to that line. So let's draw it out. We are going to start at the sky, go down to the grass, then we're going to use without lifting, go back up to the sky, curve to the plane, and then curve to the grass. And there's our uppercase B. Now to make the lowercase b, we are going to start at the sky, go down to the grass, go back up to the plane, and curve to the grass. And there we go. We have our B. The next letter we're going to learn how to write and practice writing, I should say, because we have learned these before, is the letter C. Cat. That one's very simple. It's also a curved letter. What we're going to do is to start a little bit under the sky, and we are going to curve all the way to this, past the plane to the grass, and curve it just a little bit up. And for the lowercase c, we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to start a little under now the plane, and we're going to curve. We get to the grass and give it a little bit of a hook at the top there, because it's not actually going to connect. There we go. Now let's draw. Right. So the C again, a little under the sky, curve, just like that. And let's do now the lowercase c. Again, at the a little under the plane, curve, and there we go. The letter C. The next we have is D, dog. To do the D, we're going to start at the plane, we're going to start at the sky, go down to the grass, go back up that line, and we are going to curve to the line again on the grass. So I think that came out in reverse, so I'm going to do it again. We're going to sky to the grass, go back up that line, and curve to the grass, back to that line. Perfect. And the lowercase d is just like the lowercase b, but in the opposite direction. We're going to start at the sky, go down to the grass, go back up to the plane, and curve to the grass, back to that line. Perfect. Let's do it now. Start at the sky, go down to the grass, go back up that line to the sky, and curve it to the grass. Just like that. Now let's do a lowercase d. Start at the sky, go down to the grass, go back up only to the plane, and curve it back to the line on the grass. And there we have our D. Perfect. Sorry again if I am doing some of these letters backwards when I'm writing them in the air. It is hard to tell which way is forward and which correct and which way is backwards when I am doing this sometimes on film. So the next letter we are going to learn is E, ed. We are going to start at the sky, go down to the grass, go back up to the sky. We are going to give it a cross, only half a cross on the sky, then lift our finger, go back to the line, and give it a cross on the plane, and then give it another cross on the grass at the end, but only half of it, not both sides. Now we're going to do the lowercase e. It's a very special letter. You can even see on here, it's by itself. It's special E because the whole thing is done between the plane and the grass. But there's a lot in it because we go in between. So we're going to go in between the plane and the grass. I'm going to almost make a little line. And then what we are going to do is go up to the plane and curve it to the grass and almost make it look like a C or a curly Q. So now let's draw it. Or write it, I should say. We're not really drawing. So E, start at the sky, go down to the grass, go back up that line, cross at the at the sky, cross again on the plane, and cross again on the grass. And that's our uppercase E. Our lowercase e, remember we said we start in between the plane and the grass. Make a little line, curve it up to the plane, and curve it down to the grass to make that look like a little bit of a swirl. And there you go, the letters E. Our next letter we should remember is F. F again was one of the first letters we learned with the letter B that we've already done. So before we do it on the board, let's do it in the air. So capital F, start at the sky, go down to the grass, Go back up that line. Again, you're going to do only half across. Give it half a hat on the sky. And then go to the plane and give it a little line on the plane line too. Not all the way through. The lowercase f, we're going to start a little under, again, the sky. And we're going to give it a little hook and curl it down straight to the grass. Then we're going to go up only to the plane and give it a full cross. Now let's write it out. So F capital, start at the sky, go down to the grass, go back up that line, give it a half a cross on the sky, give it a little bit of a cross on the plane. That's our uppercase F. Our lowercase f starts a little under the sky, hook it, and bring it all the way down to the grass. Then we're going to go back up only to the plane and give it a full cross. Just like that. Good job. Our next letter is the letter G. That one, remember, is the fun letter, and it's also the first letter of my name, Miss Goldman. So what we're going to do for the uppercase, we are going to start a little under the sky again, like as if it's a C, but then we're going to add a little bit more. So we're going to start curve all the way to the grass and bring it up to the plane, and then turn a line a little bit into that C, letter C kind of that we made. The letter G is a little different though, because this is also one of our grass letters, because it starts at the grass and goes all the way to the worm, which is why they're here. We have S, the plain slide letters, or even kind of a plain round letter, because the G has a little bit of a roundness to it, but it starts at the plane and goes all the way to the grass. So what we're going to do is start at the plane for the lowercase g, curve it up, and so what you're going to do is you're going to curve from the plane all the way back to the grass, all the way back to the grass. And then what you're going to do is almost give it a long fishing hook and hook it from there. It has to go all the way to the worm and give it a little hook at the end. So now let's write it out. Capital G, start a little under the sky, curve to the grass, up to the plane, and give it a little bit of a line, or you can think of like a tongue sticking out. Or if you look at it this way, it's almost like an upside down letter E, but backwards. The letter lowercase g, we're going to start at the plane, curve it to the grass, curve it back up to the plane, and go back down that same all the way down to the worm and give it a little bit of a hook. And there's our letter G. Our next letter that we learned was I, itch. And this one's kind of fun to do. In uppercase I, we're going to start at the sky, go down to the grass, go back up to the sky, give it a full cross on the sky, go back on our line, go down to the grass again, and give it a full cross on the grass. So it almost gives it a full hat and feet. The lowercase I is a lot of fun too, because we're going to start at the plane, go down to the grass, and then lift our finger or writing utensil when we start writing. And in between the sky and the plane, we're going to go boop and give it a little dot. So now let's write it. Uppercase I, start at the sky, go down to the grass, go back up that line, back up to the sky, and cross it. Now go back on that line, down to the grass, and cross it to give it some feet. And here's that fun lowercase I. We're going to start the plane, go down to the grass, lift up, and in between the sky and the plane, go boop, and there's our I. Here comes one of our first new letters, J, jug. And it's kind of cool. What we're going to do is we are going to start at the sky, we're going to go all the way down to the grass and then curve it up and give it just a little bit of a hook. And then we're going to let go and over at the sky, crossing, give it a full hat again like the I. Now the letter J is also, when it's in lowercase, it's pretty much the same thing. We're going to start the plane though, go all the way down past the grass up to the worm and give it a little bit of a hook. And just like the little dot in I, we're going to do the same thing with the J. The dot is going to go in between the plane and the sky for a little boop. So let's do it. The J, we're going to start at the sky, go down all the way to the grass and curve it up. And then for the low, and then don't forget to cross it. For our lowercase j, we are going to start the plane, go all the way down past the grass, and give it a little hook, at the a little after the worm, and go boop, right between the plane and the sky. And there's our J. Our next letter that we are going to learn how to write is the letter M. So what we're going to do is we are going to start, actually this time, at the grass, go up to the sky, then slide back down to the grass, back up to the sky, and then back down to the grass. So it's kind of fun. It's like a zigzag. The lowercase m, we are going to start the plane, go down to the grass, go back up. We are going to curve and go down to the grass and then curve it back up and curve again back down to the grass from the plane. So let's write it. M, capital M, start at the grass, go up to the sky, down to the grass, up to the sky, and down to the grass. There's our uppercase. Our lowercase m, we're going to start the plane, go down to the grass, go back up to the plane, curve to the grass, then back up that line, and curved on the plane, and back down to the grass. And there's our letter M. Now we're going to write the letter N. N is very similar to M. We are going to start, though, this time, at the grass again, up to the sky, back down to the grass, and back up to the sky again. So it's a little bit of a smaller slant, and not as many zigzags like the M. The lowercase n is pretty much the same as a lowercase m. We're going to start we're going to start at the plane, go down to the grass, go back up that line, only stopping at the plane, and curve it back down to the grass. So now we're going to write it. We're going to start the grass, go up to the sky, down. So what we're going to do, sorry about that, we're going to start at the grass, or actually you can even start the sky if you want to. Go start the sky, go down to the grass, go back up that line, back down to the grass, and back up to the sky. There you go. And the lowercase n, just like the m, you're going to start at the plane, go down to the grass, go back up that line, and curve it for the plane all the way down to the grass. Just like that. All right, so we just did the letter N, and I erased it, and hopefully you didn't hear too much of thing going by. And now we are going to learn how to write the letter O. We are going to start at the top, at the sky, and we are going to curve, this way for you guys, it down all the way to the grass, back up to the sky. That's the letter O. And you can think of your mouth too. O, octopus. Nice and round. And we're going to do the same thing for the lowercase o. Add to the plane, curve it to the grass, and back up to the plane where we start. So now let's draw it. For the uppercase O, we're going to start at the sky, curve it past the plane to the grass, and back up to the sky. sky. The lowercase o, we're going to start at the plane, curve it to the grass, back up to the plane. Just like that. We have an O. Our next letter is our other new letter that we learned this week, which is P. Pan. So what we're going to do is we are going to start the sky, go all the way down to the grass, then go back up that line, back to the sky, and we are going to curve only to the plane, back to that line. So it's almost like a B or a D, the lowercase b or d, but this time the circle, the little hump and circle part of it is at the top. Or so you can think of it too as the first part of an uppercase B or even like the uppercase R. And then to do the lowercase p, what we're going to do is we're going to start at the plane, go all the way down to the worm, then go back up that line back to the plane, and we are going to curve from the plane to the grass. Just like that. So now we're good. Uppercase P, start at the sky, go down to the grass, up that line to the sky, and curve on the plane. Now we're going to do the lowercase p, start at the plane, go down to the grass, go back up that line, and curve to the grass. Just like that. Our next letter we are going to work on is the letter R. Rat. So this one had a lot of little parts to it. So what we're going to do for the uppercase, start the sky, go down to the grass, go back up that line. Then we are going to curve. I think it's going the wrong way, so I'll go this way. Curve to the plane. And then we're going to just give it a little slide from the plane to the grass. Woo! And for the lowercase r, we're going to start at the plane, go down to the grass, go back up that line to the plane, and give it just a little hook or a little bit of a teeny tiny hook right underneath the plane. Go like that. Boing. So now let's write it. Uppercase R, start on the sky, go down to the grass, go back up that line to the sky, curve to the plane, and give it a little slide out for the R. Now let's do the lowercase r, start the plane, go down to the grass, go back up that line to the plane, and give it a small little hump or hook at the top. And there's the letter R. Now we have a few more letters left to do. The next letter we are going to do is the letter S. Snake. So what we're going to do is we are going to start a little under the plane, under the sky, and we are going to curve in one direction to the plane, and then once we reach the plane, curve in the opposite direction to the to the grass, and give it a little hook at the end. Now, when we do the lowercase s, we're going to do the same thing, but it's going to be smushed in between the plane and the grass. So let's do it. We can start a little under the plane and curve, and then curve again. You almost have to count. It's almost like a 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. So let's try. So here's our at uppercase S. We're going to start at a little under the sky to hook it and curve to the plane in one direction, then curve to the plane to the grass the other direction with a little hook. Now let's do our lowercase s. We are going to start a little under the plane, curve to the plane top of it, curl it, and then switch on the grass the opposite direction. Just like that. All right, only 2 more letters to go. You're doing a great job. Our next letter that we're going to do is, again, one of the first letters that we learned, the letter T. Top. What we're going to do is we're going to start at the sky, go down to the grass, go back up to the sky, and give it a full cross hat at the top. That's our uppercase T. Our lowercase t, we are going to start at the sky, go all the way down to the grass, go back up to the sky, to the plane, and give it a full cross in between. Let's do that one now. Uppercase T, start at the sky, go down to the grass, go back up from the grass, back to the sky, and give it a full cross at the sky. Lowercase t, start at the sky, go down to the grass, go back up that line only to the plane, and give it a full cross at the plane line. And there's our letter T. One last letter. We are almost there, guys. I know you've been doing a really good job. It's a longer video than we usually do. Our last letter is the letter U. What we're going to do is we are going to start the sky, and we are going to curve all the way to the grass and then curve it back up to the sky. And the lowercase, we're going to do the same thing. But we're going to start the plane and curve it up to start plane, go down to the grass and curve it up back to the plane. But this time we're going to add a little tail back down to the grass. So let's draw. Write it. Uppercase U, start at the sky, go down and curve it to the grass and curve it back up. And that's our U. Our lowercase u, we're going to start at the plane, curve it down to the grass, curve it back up to the plane, and again, give it that little tail. And there's our letter U. So, Echo, baby Echo, did you learn a lot today about how to write letters? Woohoo! Woohoo! What'd you say, baby Echo? Woohoo! 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 Yes, Miss Gordon, we learned so much about letters today. So much, so exciting. All right, well, I'm glad. But now we have to say goodbye to our friends. Oh, goodbye. We'll see you next time. Woohoo! So, everybody, who are my Masketeers, and all the other students who might be watching this, be safe, be smart, and go for the goal. Bye. Bye. Woohoo! Woohoo! And where's